Hello, beautiful people. My favourite thing about me is that I can be a moody fuck. And then when it's showtime, it's showtime. There's this cold that I've had. I don't even know if it's a cold, a virus at this point, that is just, I've had it since the first day we came back to work.
My God.
And like, we are now towards the end of January and it's still not shaking, still not feeling good. We thank God. We thank God. How are you, girl?
Good. I'm good. I'm trying not to catch this thing, man, because everyone's got it. And I'm really surprised I haven't because I'm such a sticky person.
Oh, yeah. And with Anaya as well. Because them kids be carrying, walking, talk. It's when she goes to nursery, you're going to be a walking
I'm just like,
germ.
Because she's never sick. So I'm just like, the fact that she's going to be sick all the time. But she's going to nursery, by the way.
Are you going to take her into nursery?
Yeah.
Okay,
she's
go
definitely
for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, hi everyone. It's your girl, Tolly T.
And just call me Audrey.
Ow. I can still hear the croak in my voice. Welcome to the episodes we like to call Your Receipts. The episodes dedicated to you, our loving, beautiful, wonderful listeners. These are the episodes where you guys actually send us your dilemmas, your issues, whatever it is that you're going through. You place it over to our hands, our voices, in hopes that we can help you, we can hold your hand, and we can guide you through this thing called life together.
Indeed.
First dilemma. This is less of a dilemma and more of a response to one of the dilemmas that we had last week.
Cool.
And we love it when you guys do that because sometimes we don't be knowing and sometimes we can't solve things. So as a community, let's solve together. This is not a dictatorship, guys. It's not. Okay. Hi, girls. You guys are amazing and I can't imagine ever not being obsessed with the podcast. I've been listening to the most recent episode of Your Receipts and wanted to respond to the final dilemma about the listener's horrific period pain. I can relate on a huge level as I was often doubled over in pain, wishing I'd faint so I didn't have to be in agony. I eventually went to the GP and after pushing for them to get me a scan, I found that it was endometriosis, which I suspected and had even mentioned to a doctor. So many women experience not only the extreme level of pain, but also dismissed by health professionals. It's an absolute joke. I'm in nowhere professional, but I have been in the same position. And I say looking into endometriosis could be a good starting point. Unfortunately, she may have to do a lot of pushing to get scans, etc. But it's well worth it. Note that they may say stuff like, if the pain is only when you're on your period, it's just period pain. But this is bullshit. Luckily for me, the pill has worked wonders, but I really hear her when she says her mood and sex drives are affected. Surgery could be an option to explore with a doctor. Otherwise, there are some more holistic ways to try and ease symptoms. I attached a website below that a friend recommended, which may be helpful. Good luck to her and anyone else there who is suffering. We can fight this together. We will put the website on, one of the comments, the Spotify comments, we'll put the website there. But yeah, I saw a few people say that it might be endo and it is likely that it's endo, so maybe go to the doctors and see things like that.
That was really helpful.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So the person who messaged was about her periods being incredibly painful and basically this help, as just said, it might be endo.
Yeah, so that's a really
worth
good
checking out. Right, next dilemma.
Next dilemma. Twin love triangle. Oh my God, I'm curious. What does that mean? Hey, beautiful ladies.
Hello.
Just wanted to start off by saying how much I love and appreciate the pod. Keep doing what you're doing because I would never have thought I'd be writing in. I've learned you can truly never say never. Sorry if this is a long one, but there's some context because I've been dealing with this dilemma for a while and despite being able to handle the majority of my problem, this one keeps getting worse and I need your unbiased, ruthless advice.
Okay.
So I met this girl in high school back in 2015 and we quickly became besties. Let's call her Stacey. Stacey was goofy, fun, adventurous, and maybe reckless. Fast forward many years later, we grew up and we still remain friends, but rarely saw each other due to her not having a car. I'm from the US and me focusing on my career and going to university. Let's just say Stacey focused on instant gratification. Once I was steady in my career, I purchased my first home that happened to be in the same town Stacey was living at the time.
Okay.
Despite being on two separate paths, we then became close again and we were each other's support systems through bad breakups and just life in general. Fast forward again, I met an amazing guy and after 2 amazing years together, he is now my fiance.
Congratulations.
I could write books on how amazing this man is. I couldn't wait to tell Stacey that I had finally found the one. Until? What happened to however? No, until. I know, she said until.
Wait, how should we do until? So however is how?
We have to do until like the guy in N-Dubs.
How does he do until?
Until.
Okay, let's go. Until. No, that was bad. One more time. Until.
Until Stacey all of a sudden started dating my fiance's brother.
Oh
God. This already. You know when people just come and fumble your thing?
Like, leave him alone.
It was odd at first, but of course we welcomed their relationship with open arms, and I was so happy for Stacey that she also found a good partner.
Until
2 months into the relationship, she called it quits with the brother for the other twin brother.
Oh.
There's 3 brothers in total, including my fiance. Okay, so twins and then her boyfriend.
Her fiance, yeah.
As you may imagine, this has caused countless stress and drama within the family and hatred between 2 brothers.
Brothers insane.
Not coming between a twin and them. No, you can't do that. As upset as I was about the situation and feeling like it was my fault for even bringing her around, I chose to accept her decision.
Okay. However,
her current boyfriend, you mean the brother?
Yeah.
Her current boyfriend is so toxic. He does nothing but spread lies about things the family and I have said in the past. After numerous screaming arguments, Stacey said hurtful things to me she can never take back. I have since then decided to cut her and my fiance's brother off other than any normal family holidays or gatherings. My dilemma is, am I selfish or shallow for wishing she would have been happy for me that I found the one and left it at that? Should I just forgive this whole situation and accept that she may one day be a part of the family? How can I ever trust her again? She may try and go after my man next, just out of spite.
Get all the brothers.
Bro, my wedding...
Gotta catch them all.
Literally, bro. My wedding is this year and I don't want either of them to attend, but my fiancé insists that his own brother will be there.
Fair.
Help. I'm so tired of being called selfish and greedy by her because I no longer want to talk or be around her. I have worked so hard on my career and future in order to surround myself with like-minded individuals, and she is not one of them. What are your honest thoughts? Thank you so much for reading. Wishing you both a blissful, prosperous life. Thank you. My God, that's a sticky one still.
Now, call me ridiculous, traditional, or just plain boring. I don't know if she's going to be able... I can't imagine a world where a brother marries the woman who his twin mother was with.
Mm-hmm. That is
I can't imagine a world where she sticks around for a long time.
Mm-mm-mm.
But then you also said his brother's toxic. So maybe he doesn't mind things like that. Your twin.
Win.
I can't even date my cousins.
Exactly.
Even junior make-believe cousins. Do you know,
exactly, play cousins.
Play cousins, I can't even, but like your twin brother. And even her to date a twin.
Yeah, that's mad for the twins to have it. I think all of that stuff is very much their family stuff. That's between them. Do you know what I mean? I think what I would focus on is her movements and how much they are impacting or detrimental to your friendship. Because even when I was reading it, my first thing was, I just have anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you here? Yeah, and although it's not inherently wrong, it just left a bad taste in my mouth.
But maybe she thought it would be cute. Like, let's say that, because there's the world, if Stacey wasn't corrupt and rotten to her core, where this could work, right? Where friends date brothers and it's all very cute and now like your best friend is now your sister-in-law.
But is it organic or did she go seeking out the brother to be in this mix? Do you know what I mean? And I don't know, for me, my antennas would go up because I would just be like, did you fight your way into this family and do all of that just so that we can be cute or just so that you can have like a taste of what I have? I don't know. I'd have to question her intentions. And then you do all of that and then it doesn't work out, which is fine. Relationships don't always work out. But now you're dating his other brother. Like, why are
his twin? That's important.
Exactly. Like, why are
the same sperm and egg sac.
Exactly. They came from the same egg. Like, literally, that's just one egg that split. Like, that is mad. Like, but yeah, I don't know. It's like, why are you so hell-bent on being in this family? Like, if you really wanted to date, you could have gone and found someone else, you know. But I don't know. I would look at her. As far as the brothers, that's between I don't think
you should date men from the same ball sack.
At all.
I actually
let alone egg.
Yeah, like, I think that should be a rule. You cannot date men from the same ball sack. Like, that's...
We have to get that on a t-shirt.
Twins,
but Tolly, they're not just from the same ball sack, they're from the same egg. That is insane. They were one egg at one point.
I can't judge that. Like, I can't. No. And I wonder if they're like identical twins. So, because then that makes it so much worse.
That is mad. And the way they're going on and doing each other, I wouldn't be surprised if the other one tried to do you know what I mean?
I reckon
the other one,
because the other one you said is toxic. I reckon he got with Stacey to spite his family and whatever. And like you said, that's their relationship. Whatever. I think you have every right to be like, hey, Stacey's not my friend. I'm not talking to Stacey anymore. I think your fiance is right to be like, my brother's coming to my wedding. Yeah, which is absolutely fair. But then the twin might be like, well, I'm not coming if Stacey's not coming. So that's another thing. So if he tries that one, then I guess you're not coming then because Stacey's not my friend. She's of no relation to anyone and she's not married to this man either. So she actually doesn't have to be there. At all. You've done what you think is right, which is cut Stacey off because you think she is, toxic and she spreads lies and she chats shit and you guys are having screaming matches. There's no need for that. Cut her off. She don't need to be with that. That is your old friend that your brother-in-law's dating. No one even likes a brother-in-law anyway. So I think it feels like you can distance it. But like to make you feel better, you are not selfish. You feel like, why are you here? Like, let me have my thing. So why are you here?
And the thing is, you were gracious enough to let her come in and, and try. And now you've just basically, I mean, obviously they've got their own family issues that have been going on way before you and Stacey came into the picture. So I would never put that all on you. But it feels like Stacey has kind of come in and amplified whatever was going on and she feels no way about it. So in a way, I just don't think she's thinking about you. But now that she's so firmly in it, would you? Because now this is your own drama that you've caused kind of thing. So I guess you're just like an afterthought. But that doesn't matter because she's not in your life anymore. But I think you did the right thing by cutting her off.
Yeah, cut her off and keep her cut off.
Keep her stay cut off.
Yeah, keep her cut off. If you have to see her at family things, and you have to see her at family things, whatever. But because this is not just a random girl that you don't like. There's history padded with her. So you have every reason to not like her and feel how you feel. So girl, live your life, be happy, have your lovely wedding. Do not invite that girl. She can get away with her not being there. They can get away with her not being there. She's a non-motherfucking factor in your life from now on.
And hopefully she just finds herself out of the family.
Yeah.
As a whole. Do you know what I mean? I can't imagine the relationship with the twin is going to last. Like, I cannot imagine. But, that's none of your business. You just focus on, you've got the good brother, clearly. You just focus on him and then let the twins figure out their issues and whatever family drama they've got going on. But my God.
A twin.
Twin is very mad. I can't lie.
Right.
Whole ass twin.
Next dilemma. This is extremely concise and to the point.
Okay.
I'm a 21-year-old male. And I'm in love with a 27-year-old female.
Okay.
She thinks I'm older than her because I lied about my age.
Classic.
Why have you done that? We get on extremely well. However, I'm aware of how things might go left once I tell her my real age. What can I do to increase our chances of staying together even when I break the news? Because she really is sensational in every sense of the word.
Why did you say...
You have to tell her as soon as possible.
Soon, and I'm pissed for her.
As soon as possible, you have to tell this woman.
I'm pissed for her because she thinks she's found like an amazing guy.
Who's older.
And then, because this is a big thing. If I was 27 and I found out the guy I was dating is 21, I'm going to be pissed. 21.
Especially when I went in it with like, I'm doing this without my acknowledgement.
Exactly.
If I went in this knowing that you're 21, cool, whatever. Like, I know you're 21. Like, I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm dating someone younger than me. But I went into this unawares. I was caught unawares. You have to tell her as soon as possible. As concise as your dilemma is, as concise as your solution is. You tell her as soon as possible. You tell her you are so sorry. Whatever reason it is that you lied, which is probably because you thought she wouldn't date you. She found out she was younger, which is probably the reason. 100%. You tell her as soon as possible. Now, I cannot guarantee the results. I cannot guarantee she'll be like, it's fine. I'm in love with you too. It doesn't matter. Because ultimately, she doesn't feel like you're 21.
Exactly.
It's not a feeling. She's never felt it.
But he might be performing a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because once you lie and say that, I'm going to say, I guess he said he's 28 or 27, 28.
So how old do you look?
Exactly. Because 21 is youthful.
Yeah.
28, not that you're not youthful. But
28, you can be 28 and say you're 35.
Yeah.
And be like,
exactly.
Fine, whatever.
Exactly.
But sir,
you don't want to be performing. Do you know what I mean? You might want to put a straw up your nose and go boop, 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 boop.
What 21-year-old outside of American films have you seen do that?
You might want to be immature, but now you're performing like, I'm not going to say nearly 30 because that girl really gagged me with that line. But like, I don't know if you're performing olderness as well.
You could just be quite mature.
Or maybe you're just mature. I hope it's the latter. But yeah, you need to do you remember when that happened to Nadia? She talked about it on the pod. And she found out some guy she was dating was 20.
The thing is, I don't mind as long as I know what I'm getting into. But just don't lie to me. Yeah, don't lie to me about the age thing. Like, let me know what it is. And if she decides that, I'm going to date someone younger, go ahead, sis, live your life. But don't let me come under here in the false pretenses.
Exactly, but
tell
do it ASAP.
her as soon as this episode lands. You need to call her, sit her down, babe. Can we talk? I am so sorry. This is how she's gonna be so pissed off.
I'll be so pissed. I as someone that would date younger,
so pissed off.
I would be very pissed because I think that there's some age gaps that feel like an age gap.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm 38, and if
I date a 31-year-old.
If I were dating, I would date a 31-year-old.
Because you're in your 30s.
But it doesn't feel.
It doesn't feel that thing.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You're 30, but 28 or 27 and 21 feels like different stages of your life. I don't know, but I don't know. It does. But yeah, tell her ASAP.
Yeah, tell her ASAP. She most likely will be like, fuck you. Or she might also like you so much and realise that, you know what, I don't feel the difference when I'm with you. I like this guy a lot. Age is actually, she's not the first guy, but Union is 10 years older than her fiance, than Dwayne Wade. Many people date. Many. Like, in fact, it is so much more common than what we think. 100%. That women. And because you get to a certain point where people don't actually ask how old you and your partner are.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never been like to you. Hey, how old are you? I have never asked for the age differences. I have never just like. Your partner, I assume you're fine with it, so it is whatever. As long as it's like not predatory, I assume everything's fine.
Exactly.
So tell her the truth and let her make a decision based on the truth. Why did you lie? No, but I get why he lied though, because she wouldn't have said that. Yes.
Yeah, I guess
obviously it's bad that you lied.
He wanted to sweet her first.
Yeah. He wanted to get her. Yeah.
Oh,
you should say, what she said about you, like, don't worry about that, man. I'm old enough.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have wondered, I'm old enough, bar. I'm old enough, bar. Always works, please. All right, next dilemma.
Okay, cool. Hi, ladies. I need your advice. First of all, I want to say how much I adore you both. You've been my companions and guiding lights since way before the pandemic, and your voices have gotten me through so many tough days. Thank you for always being real, hilarious, and full of wisdom. Oh, thank you. Now to my dilemma. I'm an African born in Europe and currently working abroad for a few months in a developing country in Africa. I've been here for a while now. To be honest, it's been quite lonely. I go to work, come home, and spend the entire evening and night sitting alone in my room. About a week ago, I was on my way to a restaurant to grab some food and this guy approached me. Normally, I'd be super hesitant to engage for safety reasons, but there was something about him. He was charming, incredibly attractive, and seemed genuine, so I thought, why not? We ended up going to the restaurant together and it was a lovely evening. We talked, got to know each other, and it felt like we had a connection. The very next day, he asked to see me again and I agreed. For our official first date, we went for a beautiful evening stroll along the beach. We held hands, shared tender kisses, and he swept me off my feet, literally. It felt like pure magic.
This is like a film.
What? That night, he drove me home, and before I got out of the car, we started making out.
Okay.
Things were getting heated, but something told me to pause. I stopped him and almost instinctively asked, "Are you married?" His answer, yes, but my wife lives abroad.
That doesn't make you unmarried.
Exactly. I didn't believe it. I'd assumed most men would lie in a sexually charged situation like that. I asked for proof and showed me a picture. Then he asked, does this change anything?
So, but what did she need proof for?
But also,
you said, are you married? And he said, yes.
Exactly.
What's the proof? The wedding picture?
But what do you mean, does this change anything?
Hey, some girls are into it.
Oh my God. Since then, we've met a few more times.
Clearly didn't change anything.
Clearly. I've tried to keep things platonic, but the chemistry is undeniable. So we've been quite physical.
Did not change a single thing.
At all. While we haven't slept together, I can feel the tension growing, and I know it's only a matter of time if we continue seeing each other. Here's my dilemma. I'm leaving in a few weeks, and part of me wants to keep seeing him because he's made me feel less lonely. We have fun together, and for once, I feel like I'm enjoying myself, and I actually get to see the country since he's showing me around. But at the same time, I know he's married and I'm torn about whether continuing to see him, even casually, is the right thing to do. I know you'd probably say I should try to make other friends. Trust me, I've tried several times, but I haven't had much success. I'm just not an outgoing person. Is it selfish of me to keep him around for company, or should I let him go now and walk away? Thank you in advance, wishing you nothing but the best.
I've sat here on this here podcast and said that I don't think women who do things like this are bad people. I think they're selfish. And most people, when it comes down to it, will go with their selfish desires before they think about a woman who they do not know, have never met, and probably will never meet. And people said, no, they're evil, they're bad. This woman that wrote this dilemma does not believe she's a bad person. She has told you, hey, I'm lonely. I've met someone that makes me feel less lonely. I feel better about myself. In fact, I've actually really tried hard to keep it platonic. I haven't slept with him, but there's chemistry there because if that was the case, as soon as he said I'm married, which was what, the second or third day, she would have stopped instantly because it wasn't that deep yet. She didn't, because her selfish desires overrode this random woman she had never met before. Is it morally good? No. Is any of us morally good people? No.
It's just different context.
Like, no. No. This is the kind of situation that, I know it sounds so mad. I have only you know what's right. Like, look, all I can tell you is that, like, what you're doing is wrong. But you know that.
Exactly. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a dilemma.
You even said, in your mind, you're like, I'm going to go soon. So, hey, once I've gone, my sins have stopped. This is going to keep me company for a couple of more weeks, and I go home and forget about this whole thing that ever happened. And the likelihood is that that's exactly what you're going to do. So do I want to be here yapping, and my voice is still a bit croaky, and be telling you the moral standards you need to keep in life? No, I'm not. Because you know.
Exactly.
You listen to this podcast for years. You know what's morally wrong and what's morally right. But you're going to do what it is that you want to do. And that is keep seeing this man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I totally agree. I think that at the end of the day, this is something that has to be measured against your own moral compass.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't believe that seeing a married man was wrong, you wouldn't have written it.
Yep.
So we already know that. That bit's already established. Of course, I will say this. He is the married person, so I will put more responsibility on him to be loyal to his wife. I will say that.
That man said...
But he said she's abroad. I would be very surprised if she's even abroad. She's probably down the road. Do you know what I mean? I'd be very surprised if she was abroad. He does have a lot of free time for someone that's married, but listen, excuses can be made. But yeah, we don't have I don't have the answers for that. We don't have the answers for that, because at the end of the day, you've already started it. Do you know what I mean? Granted, you have put a blocker. You haven't slept with him yet. That's good.
It's still been physical.
But you've still been physical. And I'm not trying to say, because you've gone this far, go the whole mile. But you have to decide whether this is something you can live with. This is something you can have in your conscience. If you're someone that believes in karma, if you're someone that believes that, you know what, I believe in the sanctity of marriage. If the answer to all of those things is yes, then cut him off. Absolutely cut him off. But if you just think that you know for a fact you're moving and you're probably never going to speak to him again and all the rest of it, and you think that this is just going to be temporary and he's just going to scratch your itch whilst in this temporary situation, I'm not saying you should do it. I'm saying the decision is yours.
This year, I'm not going to be on no moral high ground. I'm not going to be your compass of morality, because this makes me think about, like, I remember sometimes when I was like, let's say, like, I was like, oh, I'm sick. Or like, I didn't want to go to school. And I'd be like, Mum, I don't feel shit. Like, oh, I think I might be too sick. She's like, only you will know if you're too sick. And you know, sometimes when someone leaves you with that dilemma of yourself, like, you know what you're doing is wrong. Like, there was times I used to lie to my mum and she knew I was lying. And she'd be like, this is
your own.
That's your own. Like, you're lying, but live with that. Sit with that. What you're doing is bad. If your morality can deal with it, sit with that. But what you're doing is bad.
Exactly.
Is whatever joy you get from him, for however long you see him for, worth what you know that is morally wrong?
Because being with someone else's husband in any capacity, and you know they're married, because he was honest.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even lie.
Not when you first met him, but when you asked him the question, he was honest.
He didn't need to, she didn't ask him when she first met
him. True. And no guy that's entertaining, they're not going to lead
I'm
with that,
married, yeah.
Exactly. So when you asked him, he didn't lie. So now it really is on you in every way, shape or form.
His marriage is his personal problem with someone.
Can you imagine?
That's
said,
private. Are you married? She said, that's private. Audrey, I would have laughed so hard.
That's creative.
I would have laughed so hard.
That's creative.
It would have probably been the best thing I heard that night. If I said to someone, are you married? And
that's
said,
my personal business.
That's my personal business. Get men in jail.
ASAP.
Get them in jail. And you accomplices, you women, you should join them too part-time.
But I totally agree. I think this is for you. I don't have the answers. I'm never going to condone...
You are going to condone?
No, never.
Wait, what?
I'm never going to condone...
Cheating with a married man?
Yeah, cheating with a married man.
Why would you not condone that? That's bad.
Condone. I'm not going to condone it.
Wait, condone is when you approve.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I was thinking,
I'm never going to condemn.
Condemn,
I'm never going to condemn it. You do what you need to do. I stand behind you. No, I'm joking. I'm never going to condone you getting with a married man.
Yes.
When you know. If you don't know, obviously what you don't know, you can't control. But this one, you know. Do you know what I mean?
Also, you don't even know by maybe or guessing. You know as a Fendi fact because he has
said it straight out of his mouth.
You even asked for proof. I don't know what you need the proof for, but you asked for proof and he gave you the proof.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's up to you and your conscience. That's up to you and your God. When you're alone in your room, nobody else has said the receipts. You finished the episode. We're not making noise anymore.
What do you think she's going to do?
She's going to stay with him until she comes home.
Because
of course she is.
Because obviously you started the dilemma by talking about how lonely you are and how you have no life. So you're cushioning the blow, sis.
Of course she is. In her mind, I'm going home in 2 weeks.
And if you promise yourself, I'm not
going to sleep with him. I'm never going to see him again. Let me entertain myself and come home and work.
She's going to sleep with him before she goes?
Yeah, she will.
Yeah.
She will absolutely sleep with him.
Why are married men the sauciest? Why? Why couldn't it just be some random single guy that happened to be? Like, why is it always
never the case. It's always too good to be true.
Instead of him to go home, he should have just gone home that day. But...
And they're the most audacious as well. There was one at the gym that like all the time used to be on me. And I was like, you have a wife. And he said to me, that's what I don't like about you. Why do you keep bringing her up?
Sir!
He said, why do you keep bringing her up? That's why I don't like
Because you're not bringing her up.
Like I said, are you insane?
It's scary. The streets are actually insane.
They're done.
The streets are done, man.
Right, next dilemma.
Next dilemma, yeah.
Okay. Hello, Audrey and Tolly.
Hello.
I hope you are having a wonderful start to 2025 and that this year gives you blessings you deserve and more. Amen. I am writing in because I am concerned for a friend and I don't know what to do. The situation has been going on for a while and it's quite difficult to untangle. Okay. Basically, my friend, mid-20s, has been increasingly isolated and defensive since she began dating her partner a few years ago. My gut feeling is that she may be in an exploitative or emotionally abusive relationship, but I'm not 100% sure, and I know that this topic is very difficult to mention to someone. There were things about the relationship that had alarm bells ringing in my head from the start. It was established early on that her partner believes that whoever earns more, her, should pay more towards the house, bills and meals. This is a white man too. What about reparations? Okay.
Ma'am.
But she isn't earning that much. And also, this person has changed their career plans to choose a lower paying job since they started dating. His friends have said racist things and he's told her while still being friends with this person and he doesn't even get on with her family. She has lost friends because they don't like him and have been weirded out by some of their aggressive PDA. There was a lot about his personality and actions that I can't stand, but this is my friend and I care about her. More importantly than these things, since she began dating him, it's like her struggles in life have worsened. Her mental health has been bad to the point of nearly even not completing uni and missing out loads of work. Her ambition has been significantly lowered where she doesn't even try to reach goals that she had in for years. Her world just seems so much smaller. She has lost touch with so many friends from uni and school. In terms of her interest and appearance, she's almost unrecognizable from when she initially met him. I know that some of these things can be part of growing up, but it really scares me that this guy has come into her life and now seems to be her only source of joy. She used to be so strong and sassy and now constantly says things that she doesn't know what she would do without him. I understand being attached to your partner and all, but it just seems a bit too much. He's just a man and not even one that is bringing a lot to the table. It's also difficult to see her without him attached to her hip. She's really difficult to talk to and honestly will react sensitively often if someone has a different opinion to her. It feels a bit like using the technology of a therapist without actually speaking to one or doing full research. She labels anything she doesn't like as a toxic or unhealthy and doesn't take much responsibility about disagreements or awkward interactions. This worries me as she's becoming more and more isolated and also makes no effort to go to therapy. I'm aware she's not talking to several members of her close family at this moment in time, for instance. Due to this, I don't even know how to broach the subject of my genuine concern for her. I'm scared I will get cut off like she has done to others, and she seems to be less and less people in her corner. I feel like I should talk to her and raise my concerns, but I really think she would just limit contact as she has done with her own family for smaller issues. I also worry that I would be wrong in attributing all of this to her relationship with her partner. Have you ever had to raise concerns about this with someone you are close to. I'm so scared that something horrible might happen if I don't say anything or I do say anything. I just want to make sure she's okay and help if she needs it.
Ooh. Do you know what? I think that you're definitely right to be concerned. Like, you know, if you see your friend becoming a shell of their former self and the timeline matches up to when they entered this relationship, then I think it's very much safe to say that the relationship has got a lot to do with sort of like her demise. I think it's really important. It's when people are in like these sensitive situations and they're highly, highly vulnerable. I think it's more important how you say it. I think right now she's not in a place to hear that, oh, your boyfriend's bad for you, blah, blah, blah. And like, not that you would ever come from a judgmental place, but I feel like sometimes if we're pulling our friends up, it can feel that way, especially if she's so deeply rooted in this relationship. So I think it's going to be more a thing of how you say it, but it needs to be said. Like, I really think it is important to call things out with your friends when you see it, but you just have to put it into context and you have to say it in a way that they're going to be able to receive it, or put it in a way that they're going to at least know that if and when the time comes, they've got a safety net in you. So that's what I would do. I think I would pull her to the side and just be like, don't even start with the boyfriend thing because that's a highly sensitive situation. I think I would kind of work backwards and just be like, listen, you've changed. Like, is everything okay? Like, even if you say, I'm doing check-ins with all my friends, I think it's really important that we check in on each other.
Yeah.
And so that she doesn't feel so attacked or she doesn't feel so blindsided, and just be like, I'm having these general conversations with everybody. Like, how can I saw a TikTok actually about people that are horrible friends, and this girl was like, a lot of you are horrible friends, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, yeah, like, she made some valid points. And so just operating from a place of like, I'm here for you, I'm just putting this out there, is everything okay? And just doing it step by step so that she knows that she's got you to lean on, kind of thing. And then depending on her response, I would take it up a notch and take it up a notch. But I think you have to go in slowly and sensitively, but you need to say something. You need to let her know that you've noticed some changes in her. You're not judging. You just want to know that everything's okay, and that if she needs anything, that you're here for her.
Yeah. And I think when you're having this conversation, don't just be like, it's been since your boyfriend. Because
Exactly.
instantly you've lost her.
Exactly.
Like she's going to be defensive. Going to be like, she's going to want to stand up for the man that she loves, right? So I think be more kind of like, hey, how are you doing? I don't think you should mention the boyfriend. I don't think you should mention that I think he's doing this to you. And I think there's also something in like, if you're open with how whatever you're going through or how life it is with you, people tend to be more open about themselves as well. So even if you frame it as a kind of like a, hey baby, we're great to meet up, or just like, just want to catch up, there's some things going on that with me that I would love to talk to you about and things like that. And then that way it's likely that you get to see her one-on-one, and I think it's when you're approaching people with things like this, you just have to do your best to not make them feel attacked.
Exactly.
Because as soon as they feel attacked, judged, you've lost, like they're not responding to you anymore.
And then they lean more into the other.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's what like we see with abusive relationships, right? Like they get to a point where like they've lost everybody. And I think sometimes if I've not been in a very similar situation to this, but sometimes I'm like wary about saying anything because I'm like, I just want you to know that I'm always going to be here. Like, and I feel like when they feel like, oh, you're going to judge them, they just to keep the friendship with them, just so they always have someone, I'm just going to stay. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I think like as soon as you bring something up, then they flare up, and then that's another person lost, and then that's more her leading more into this person who you think is abusive sort of thing. So I think like tread very carefully here and just be as like, I'm just checking up on you rather than I think your boyfriend is a piece of shit.
Exactly. And then I think you won't know what the next steps to take are until you've had this initial conversation and you've done it from that angle. Do you know what I mean? Because
but do you think you should do it as a hey babe, let's meet up, let's have a chat, or like, oh, we're just gonna go out normally and then bring it up?
I think it should be casual, because I don't think that, because even sometimes when I can imagine when you're in this sort of toxic relationship and all the rest of it, someone being like, oh, we need to talk is probably going to add
a lot,
extra anxiety. That happens anyway. Do you know what I mean? If someone messages me being like, oh, we need to chat, I'm like, oh my God, what? Do you know what I mean? And it would actually just drive me insane. So we don't want to add that. So I think just whatever it is that you guys do, if it's dinner, lunch, whatever, just invite her out casually. But also, even when you do that, don't make it seem like an ambush. Don't let it be known that you invited her out here just to...
I can't stand that.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, oh, damn, like you invited me just to like...
Because when it is that thing, because you're sat there, you're just waiting for them to be like, so what? Like, you're just waiting for them to start the conversation. And like, even sometimes I'm out with friends and like, what's going on with you? Like, that conversation annoys me.
Yeah. Let's just be normal.
I think actually I'm leaning towards just be there for her organically. Just keep meeting up with her. Just be, because that thing is actually so daunting to be like, oh, so what's going on with you then? And I know people are doing it out of care, but sometimes it's like, just be normal.
Yeah, exactly.
And I often find those conversations come out organically.
Yeah, 100%. If you guys have got the friendship that you described, then it shouldn't be a thing for you guys to do whatever it is you normally would do. And just, I would like to think that you have an open line of communication. And like Tolly said, maybe lead with yourself so it doesn't feel like you're coming here to like lecture her or ambush her or anything of the sort, because she's going to be highly sensitive at the moment, based off of everything you've described that's going on with her. And you just don't want to add to that anxiety. But I just think the best way to be there for someone is just to be there. Like,
and lean on them. They're like, hey, like, you know, with uni work, with like your goals or whatever, rather than it being your relationship. Lean on like, what's happening? Why? How come you don't want to do this anymore? What's your new goals? What it is? It's the start of the year. Great time. I've had so many like a group of friends where it's just like, oh, everyone meets up and we're talking about what's the plan? What do you want to do this year? Like, how do you want to do this? And I found that really, really useful. So I think that's worth doing.
Totally agree. Okay, cool. Next dilemma.
Hey, ladies.
Happy New Year. May this year bring you blessings in abundance.
Amen.
Sorry in advance if this is long. So here's my dilemma. I've been with my boyfriend for almost 3 years. I love him dearly. And to be honest, I don't have any complaints. He's almost perfect. Okay. We live together. Both our families love each other. And I'm aware he's going to propose soon. We're both 27.
Okay.
I recently went on holiday without my boyfriend, and very unexpectedly I met someone and caught feelings. So how did we get here? Now, this is very surprising for me because I am quite shy and introverted and I don't usually talk to people. I know I shouldn't have, but we exchanged digits and started texting. I told him I had a boyfriend and just wanted to be friends, but that didn't matter to him and he started talking very sexual to me.
So you blocked him?
Not quite. I didn't reciprocate, but I also didn't shut it down. And I know I should have stayed away because I'm obviously extremely attracted to this man, but we met up and we ended up having sex. This has just gone from one extreme to another. If only the dick wasn't so good.
Oh, God.
Maybe I could forget about him. But fast forward, I'm back in my home country and we talk frequently, reminiscing on our time together. Ladies, I'm down really bad. I'm sneaking around, acting out of character. I can't let this man go and I have tried. I blocked him on everything, well, so I thought. And he found a way of contacting me, saying, please don't leave me again and let's just be friends. I think it would be easy if I could say it's lust, but I'm not the type of person to let someone have my body and simply due to sexual attraction. I'm a you have to fuck my mind before I let you fuck me kind of person. I feel kind of bad, not as bad as I thought I would, but still bad, for cheating on my man, especially as he's a good person and we're gearing up for marriage pretty soon. I feel more bad about the fact that we're still in contact and all I can think about is fucking this man again and again. Also, my man's penis is fun-sized. That's so nice. Also, my man's penis is fun size, and don't get me wrong, he does know how to use it and he pleases me very well, but I'm gonna be honest, when he first puts it in, we didn't have to say all of this, sis.
We don't need this.
But I'm gonna be honest, when he first puts it in, I don't feel it. And it takes a while for me to feel the sensations. Holiday guy's dick is so big, oh my God.
We don't need it.
I'm laughing because she literally put holiday guy's dick is so big, oh my God.
Okay.
In an ideal world, we would just be friends.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
Because we share a vibe between us and I love his energy, not just his dick. There's bare emojis here as well, you know. I really don't want to let him go, but I fear the sexual energy is too high between us. Ladies, help. I shall never confess. But how do I let this man go? I know he also has feelings for me too. And I'm not being delusional, but I don't want to be this person. I don't even recognize myself and my boyfriend does not deserve this.
You have to block him and not talk to him. However, do you know when you said last time you blocked him and everything, but he found the way to block him in that way?
Exactly. That's probably Instagram.
Yeah, whatever that last bit of way that you forgot to block him on.
God.
Block him that way. You cannot let this holiday man ruin your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You love... Let me go back and remind you. You love him dearly.
Mm-hmm.
Your families love each other. He's going to propose soon. You've been together for 3 years.
You said he's almost perfect.
The only bit that's not perfect is the fun-sized dick.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But you cannot let this holiday dick ruin your life.
Until she slept with the other person, she was happy with fun.
Because that's what it was. It's actually ruining your life. Do you know there's like every so often you'll do one thing that has the potential to finish your life. Because think about worst case scenario, because how you're moving on like yourself, your partner's recognizing it.
Oh yeah, trust me.
You're not as discreet as you think you are.
Never.
Do you know what I mean? Like
100%.
you might be like you're acting normal, but you're saying you don't recognize yourself. Your partner who loves you and knows you well probably doesn't recognize you as well. Probably thinks there's something going on here. There's something dodgy here, right? And like you said, your partner does not deserve this. He's not a bad person. You love him. You know he loves you. You have to cut this holiday. Is this holiday dick worth it? I just think some things are just not worth ruining your life for.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And the thing is, I mean, it's too late to go back now.
You've done your worst. You've had the sex.
Exactly.
You've done it now.
I think
you've had the sex. It's fine.
There's no other solution because you said you're absolutely not confessing. So clearly, you don't want to leave your boyfriend.
You don't want to leave him.
Clearly, you want to be with your boyfriend. You love him. You want to get married to him and stuff like that. You've done this bad thing now. I don't condone it, but it's been done now. I think it is now. The work has to be on you. Like you actually have to. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy because clearly you can't stop thinking about him and you're still in communication. And I think that's what's making it really hard.
That's why you can't stop thinking about him.
Yeah, exactly, because you're still talking to him. Trust me, it's going to be a mind fuck at first when you cut him off because it's going to play on your mind for ages, but the communication amplifies it. Once you cut that off, you can just focus on trying not to think about him and then eventually it will dissolve and you will move on. But you're just delaying. You're prolonging the inevitable.
You can't do that.
You're prolonging the inevitable.
You have to stop.
A decision's been made that you don't want to leave your boyfriend. If there was something where things were up in the air, and you're kind of in two minds, and you couldn't decide between the two guys,
and then go back to Spain and be living in Spain?
Exactly. Then cool.
With Jesus.
But that's not.
What's the plan?
That's not the plan. Like you want to be with your boyfriend. So if you want to be with your boyfriend, who will eventually become your fiance, then you need to start putting in the work now. You need to cut it off. And it's not going to be easy. There's no tips. You have to just do it.
Yeah,
go cold turkey.
There's no tips.
There's no tips.
Like I'm actually being very strict with you right now. Stop it. Like stop it.
Just stop your behaviour. Exactly. Matt Tolly said you're ruining your own life.
Yeah, like
this is driving you crazy as well. Like, and it's gonna suck, but you're gonna have peace knowing that you're not dealing with that anymore.
What's gonna be the first at most 3 months?
It's at most.
But for the rest of your life, it's not that long. What are we in January? By
March.
By April, March.
Find a hobby.
You will be over it, right?
Actually, don't find a hobby.
And at most, what would happen is maybe sporadically in your life, sometimes you think about that one time or what you did in Spain. I don't know why I'm I did in Spain, but you think about it. But you're not going to be at a point where your fiance has found out. He now hates you. Your family are like, why the fuck have you ruined this big thing? His family now hates you because of this random guy who you... Look, I think sometimes we're convinced by one person and then someone showed us an alternative. Maybe you're not just a fuck my mind person. Maybe this person's come along and you're like, oh, that's like ignited this part of my sexuality that I didn't realise that I had. There's many people who have that to be like, oh, no, I'm very this, I'm very that, I'm very this. And then they meet someone, they do something with them. I was like, oh, that experience showed me I'm actually not as like linear and one direction as I thought I was. I'm actually more... Maybe I can just see someone be attracted to them and fuck them. You've overthought it. You're overfunking it. You're thinking this person is now like, it's because you love him so much because he's explored your mind. No, he was a good time and he had a big dick. You haven't had that in a while.
Exactly. You didn't know that you like schlong.
Like, and then schlong came your way. You're like, oh wow, I kind of like schlong. But it doesn't mean you ruin your life for schlong.
Don't conflate schlong with
love.
With love.
You just don't.
They're two completely different things. Because at the end of the day, this guy's been around for 5 minutes.
Like, hey, I hadn't had like greasy chicken and chips for a very long time. Do you know, £4 wings?
Exactly. Sometimes it hits.
I hadn't had it for a long time. And I thought, oh, it's because my taste buds have changed now. Like, I'm more mature, whatever. Had it recently, I was like, that still slaps.
It still slaps.
Am I going to go back and eat it every single day? No, because I know it's not good for me.
Exactly. An analogy.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll think about it to be like, oh, that's nice.
Exactly. Yeah, you think about the taste, you reminisce about the flavours, the grease.
I keep it moving.
You know,
and it reminded me that, hey, you're not as linear as you thought. Your taste must have not developed that much, actually. You still like chicken and chips.
It's not maturity. It's just that, you know.
You just didn't have it in a while.
You just didn't have it in a while. Exactly. Exactly that.
Be for real. Stop it. Stop what you're doing. Like, don't ruin your life because of holiday.
I'm not convinced you even really like this guy.
You don't. You like who you were with him. You're like, oh my God, I can be this sexual being. Like, start exploring that with your partner, man. Cut this shit off. Stop
exactly. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
It's not. Stop it. And I'm saying that in a very strict voice. Stop it. Okay, next dilemma. Next and final. Hi, girls. Long time listener, first time writer. Actually, I've written in about 3 times now. So, you guys see this one because I'm losing my mind.
Oh, God.
I can't start without giving you your flowers. So, I started listening in 2020 and I've been a ride or die since. I love you guys so much. Aww. Audrey, you're so funny and beautiful and your family's beautiful. May God continue blessing you. Tolly, you are gorgeous. And my friend actually said, Vidoki, you look alike. Hey, twin. I personally don't see it. Oh, hey, no, twin. Apart from having a big forehead. Hey, twin. And our skin tone. But I was gassed. Now, every time I need to do my makeup, I use your pictures as a reference. So all in all, I love you girls so much. You are proof to me that the life I want for myself is possible and within reach. That's lovely. Okay, onto my issue, and I'll be as quick as possible. So my boyfriend, let's call him Jeremiah, and I dated 2 years back, but broke up because he relocated. He got a full ride scholarship to a European country, which I won't disclose because he listens to this sometimes. But that's my fault for putting him on, LOL. But to be fair, he probably already puts the dots together, so F it. Babe, if you're listening, I love you.
Oh my God.
Babe, if you're listening, I love you, but you got me all kinds of fucked up.
Oh
God. Okay, now fast forward. We got back together last year, late 2024, and we're still going long distance. However, I'm in work to relocate to the same country as well for work. Pray for me. He has a best friend who he met in his first year abroad. They were both on scholarships at the same uni. Let's call her Daisy. So about a month ago, Daisy and her boyfriend, let's call him Dickhead, okay? Both moved to a different country. Daisy followed him blindly almost. She has no job or anything and was 100% reliant on him. Daisy's African, like my boyfriend, and whereas Dickhead is European. So one day, Daisy went through Dickhead's phone and found nudes between Dickhead and his baby mum. Understandably, she was very upset. Anyway, now, she's planning to go back to the other country. So here's my dilemma. My boyfriend wants to take her in until she gets on her feet. Normally, I wouldn't have an issue with that. He literally had another female friend staying over with him for almost 2 years. But with this issue, my problem is that she's very vulnerable and sensitive and would need a lot of comforting, which he would be the one to provide. And that makes me a bit uneasy. I've asked him that I'll need a lot of reassurance during the time, but I don't know how I feel about this. My sane side is telling me everything will be fine because, to be honest, it's amazing and it doesn't do anything to make me question him. But my crash outside is saying otherwise. A bit of context, so much for keeping it short, LOL. He asked the other girl to move out because he went to try living alone before I came, since she had moved in with him initially when he first got his own place. So ladies, please help me. Do you put your foot down and tell him I'm not having it? If you wouldn't recommend that, what are some healthy ways to navigate this? Or do I just end things and be sad like I was in 2022? Lots of love all the way from Malawi. Go.
He really is the shelter.
I can see your crash out in that email. I know the crash out. I understand the crash out. I would let it happen. I'm soft. Especially if I'm with someone who has never made me question them. You've never made me question you. I trust you. Okay, your friend is going to be sad. What have you pictured in your head? Have you pictured one day she's crying, he goes to go comfort her, she looks up and they start kissing and have sex? That's what you've pictured in your head. And that's what's making you be like, oh, absolutely the fuck not. Or could it be she's crying, he's comforting her, oh, sorry, baby, you'll be okay, and everyone carries on with their day? Because that's also a possibility, especially if you're dealing with a man who was lived with the girl before.
Exactly.
And you were absolutely fine. It almost seems like you're not fine because she's sad.
Yeah, that is exactly what it is.
And he'll spend more time with her because she's sad.
Exactly. And that was my determining factor as well. You said that he's done it before, so you don't have an issue with this.
You don't have an issue with this, yeah.
So the only difference is the fact that this person is sad. But to me, if someone was
so
happy,
much more so.
If someone was really happy and they were moving in, like, shit can happen. It doesn't matter what the emotional stability is of the person, whether they're extremely happy or extremely sad. If someone wants to do something and they have that intention, they will do it. And you said that they were friends before she had a man.
You've never questioned Daisy.
You've never questioned Daisy. There's no issue with Daisy. You even referred to her partner as Dickhead. So clearly there's some sort of rapport there. If it were me, I wouldn't start having trust issues now.
You've never made me question you.
Because of sadness. And I think it's really nice actually to have that level of trust, because I'm not someone who has an issue with female friends and all of that. I think it's necessary. I think it's needed. And for me, until you give me reason to not trust you, I'm going to just carry on as
Which
normal.
you never as.
I'm just going to, and it's the same as if it were any other friend.
Mhm.
Like, you know, another female friend lived there before. If a guy friend needed to come and stay, this is just clearly what he does. He's clearly just a good friend. It doesn't matter the gender of the person. And so I wouldn't let her relationship status or her emotional status or whatever it is stop him from being a good friend and cause problems that are not there. Personally.
I think it's really funny that a lot of women would ask for a kind guy. It's on their list to be with someone that's kind. And then when that person starts being kind, it irritates you.
Exactly.
It's like you only want that kindness for you.
Or to men.
Yeah, or to men. Yeah, it's a weird thing to be like, want something in someone's character, and then when they now show it to people outside of you, now it's a fucking problem. If you ask for a kind guy, you've asked for someone that's nice, and you've been given that, they are going to be kind and nice to people. If you ask for someone generous, they're going to be generous to people outside of you.
Exactly.
Like these qualities, they are just not just limited to you.
Yep.
And I think this is someone that's making a kind offer. If you started an email with that, years before him and Daisy dated, years before he and Daisy fucked, I know Daisy's in love with him, then it's a different conversation.
None of that.
That's his friend. I've never questioned them. His friend's in a bad position. She needs somewhere to stay. Cool, stay here.
Exactly. And I think, do you know what? If I were dating now, I think that would be a quality I'd be looking for.
Absolutely.
Like a guy who knows how to have female friends, or a guy who knows how to treat women with respect outside of like romantic relationships. Yeah. I think that's really, really important. And again, you haven't stated anything that suggests otherwise, that there's any sort of malice or bad intentions or any. It just sounds like a friend who's trying to be there for a friend. So if it were me, I'd be
Stop
fine
working yourself up to this dramatic thing that you think is going to happen, right? Allow your sane mind to work. Because ultimately, I feel like whether you crash out, you put your foot down, whatever, if a man wants to cheat, he's going to cheat. Like,
exactly.
I don't like, please, even if she doesn't live with him, and she needs comfort. We'll go to her house to go comfort his friend. They can fuck at her house. They can fuck at whatever flat share she's having. If they want to fuck, then it will happen.
That's exactly my mindset. I don't think it really matters where she is emotionally. I don't think it really matters any of that. If they wanted to be together, they would have been. If he's gonna cheat, he's gonna cheat, and there's nothing you can do about it at the end of the day. So yeah, I just think don't.
I find putting your foot down as a way to oppose someone being kind to someone so funny.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
You are not going to do this kind act. Yeah, putting my foot down. No, who the fuck are you?
That's more of a reflection of you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The girl needs it. You don't have a problem with the girl. Like Audrey says, you like the girl. You're calling her man a dickhead. So, girl, be sane.
Exactly. Be fine.
Be sane. Stop dramatizing your life. I don't know, maybe sometimes film and TV shows make life
reality TV
or
shows.
TikTok, people's story time. That's not your experience.
Exactly.
Stick to the truth.
Exactly.
Live your life according to the experience you have had with your partner, not what Rosie had or what this girl on TikTok story time did. What has been your experience with your partner?
Yeah.
Live that. Stick to the truth.
Exactly. Word.
Like, be sane and be normal, please.
Yeah. Enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Enjoy your relationship.
Don't stress yourself out. It's fine. It's all good. You're going to be moving there soon anyway. It's all going to be great.
Exactly.
You're going to have a great life together.
There soon so you can keep real tabs if you're really worried about it.
You don't need to break up with him. He's done nothing wrong. Stop leaning towards disaster and destroying your own life.
Exactly. You're writing your own.
Yeah, you're just destroying your own life.
Yeah,
it's actually not necessary. Start walking through the path of destruction and just be a sane, normal human being and react to things when they happen, not before they happen.
Exactly.
Don't react to your imagination. React to the truth and reality.
Don't react to your imagination.
Stick to the truth.
Exactly.
Just stick to the truth. But yeah, that's it.
That's all.
That is it.
That's all, folks.
This episode of Your Receipts. We hope we were able to help you guys out, help your dilemmas, things like that. If you do have any dilemmas and want to speak to us or would like us to talk about anything, please email us at
dilemmas@thereceiptspodcast.co.uk.
That is
dilemmas@thereceiptspodcast.co.uk.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.